Hi, my name is Katie Conley. I am a cognitive behavioural therapist collaborating with therapy in Barcelona. Cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT, is an evidence-based psychotherapeutic approach theorising that how we think influences our emotions, and this in turn influences how we behave. Cognitive is just a fancy word for thoughts or thinking. Emotions are how we feel, and behaviours are our actions, the things that we do. As our ancestors evolved millions of years ago, those who were most attuned to danger and threat survived. They passed their genes on, and their offspring who were most attuned to danger and threat survived. That leaves us today with these really tricky brains that are not designed with our happiness and well-being in mind. This makes us vulnerable to negative thinking patterns. In CBT, we learn to become the watcher of our negative thoughts, observing and questioning them rather than believing them 100%. Thoughts are opinions and not facts. This knowledge can help us to create alternative perspectives and see situations in a more rational, logical, and balanced way. This in turn can help us to feel better and behave in more helpful ways. I would like to introduce you to a CBT skill or tool today called thought challenging. One way to challenge our thoughts involves asking certain questions that may help us to see things from an alternative perspective, a bit like putting our thoughts on trial. The 3 types of questioning that I find most helpful are using evidence, considering alternative perspectives, and identifying any unhelpful thinking styles. Using evidence to challenge our thinking might involve asking ourselves, what is the evidence for this negative thought? What is the evidence against this negative thought? Am I confusing fact with opinion? Considering alternative perspectives, we might ask, what would I tell a friend who was thinking in this way? If someone I loved had this exact same thought, what would I say to them? 10 years from now, when I look back on this situation, will I look at it any differently? Being aware of the unhelpful thinking styles that we often fall into might involve asking ourselves, am I thinking in an all or nothing style and not considering that there may be a grey area in between? Am I catastrophizing, jumping to the worst case scenario immediately? Or am I jumping to conclusions? Next time you have a negative thought that heightens your anxiety or lowers your mood, have a go at asking yourself some of these questions to see if you can reframe your thought that brings your anxiety down or heightens your mood and might help you to behave in a more helpful way. Thank you for listening today.